This is Shy.
And this is Megan.
And this is the Magical Happy Hour,
a podcast where we share our love for Disney, theme parks, travel tips, food,
and anything else we feel like talking about.
It's episode 27, and today we're going to talk about the history and secrets of Dinoland U.S.A.
Woohoo!
I think this has been long awaited, and we're very excited to talk about, one of the most divisive lands, I think, that has ever existed.
Yeah, for sure.
We got some good things to say about it, I think, though.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this and geek out a little bit on this random little land in Animal Kingdom Disney World.
We've been lucky to have it while we've had it, I think. But before we get into that, I think we have a little bit of stuff to talk about first.
Yeah, so Megan, you have a trip planned for later this month?
Yeah, it'll be just a couple days before this episode comes out. This is recorded a few weeks prior, so think about that when I'm saying these things. But I have a trip planned for the 23rd, and I am definitely going to be in DCA. I have friends in town from Arizona that they go to Disneyland every year for Christmas with their family, but don't often go to DCA. My friend's husband, this will be his first time, and she hasn't been in about 5 years or so. So it should be fun. We will have their kiddo with us, and my friend is pregnant. So, it'll be an interesting day. Some things to navigate for sure.
That'll be really cool. I feel like you will have to get a little bit creative on what to do throughout the day, but hopefully you can take advantage of like the Animation Academy, and hopefully there will be a new show or something announced, since we know Deadpool has quietly been canceled. Hopefully by then maybe there'll be another show out for you guys to see.
I think that's really optimistic, but I love the optimism. We love to see that. We love to keep that in our hearts. We're happy to be surprised. I heard that Deadpool had a pretty lengthy goodbye, so something like a 4-minute goodbye speech. Sorry, just because you mentioned that.
Did you really? That's wild.
You didn't see anything about that? No. I just saw one video.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to look it up.
It was funny. Definitely worth seeing. Like, what a hoot. Bring him back.
And I'm so disappointed that they're canceling it, because like people were always there. Like, it was always busy. Like, people wanted to see him. He was funny. Maybe they listened to our podcast and are putting him in the Hyperion.
Oh my gosh. Dude, again, optimism. We love to see it. I guess we'll see. At least Lunar New Year will be going on, so there's always activities for that. We will have talked about it in the previous episode, so listen to that if you have not yet, to learn all about Lunar New Year. But there should be some good things to go along with that. At least my friend and her mom are both excited to kind of snack and walk around. So I'm always down to chill at DCA,
Yeah, and definitely going to have to give you a list of food to try for the podcast, of course.
Of course. I did see I wish I would have looked it up, but if I drink it, then you all will hear about it in the next episode. But there is like I think it was a strawberry whiskey sour, which sounds interesting, but also I do love me a good whiskey sour. So I'm looking forward to trying whatever that is.
Sounds good.
Yes. And something else that's I think that we're even more excited about. Do you want to tell us a little about it, Shai?
We have just confirmed our next guest speaker. I don't want to give too much away, but we do have someone really exciting coming on to the podcast to talk about their experiences in the park. And I think you guys will be excited to get to hear from this person. It won't be the next episode, but should be the episode after that. So stay tuned.
February 8th, it's looking like, according to our calendar at this time. So it should be good. Lots of good information, good insight.
We're really excited to have this person on. So we'll share more with you guys soon.
Shall we dive into Dinoland?
Let's dive in.
Okay, so just to start off, when Animal Kingdom was being planned and into its openings, there was a plan for not only Dinoland, but also a Beastly Kingdom. I feel like this is a pretty well-known thing among especially Animal Kingdom fans. The remnants of Beastly Kingdom are definitely sprinkled throughout the park. I think the most obvious one is on the ticketing booths. I think they have like a dragon head on it, and there's somewhere else in the sign that I believe has a unicorn. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I actually don't know that much about Beastly Kingdom or what that was going to be.
I mean, that might be a topic for another time, because there's a lot there. It was pretty well developed and was looking like it was getting made. I mean, like I said, it's incorporated into the park still to this day.
Was that like the original thought for Animal Kingdom, or was that going to be like another addition to Animal Kingdom, or was it going to be just part of Animal Kingdom?
It was just like another land.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because it does sound a little vague, like Beastly Kingdom in Animal Kingdom. But the idea for Animal Kingdom was to acknowledge the animals of today, like what we can find and conserve, but also in our imagination.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and animals from the past, like dinosaurs. And really the only reason that we got Dinosaur or Dinoland instead of Beastly Kingdom, or instead of both, is because of budget cuts, or budget shortages is probably the better term. But Dinoland was cheaper, so they went with that idea.
Oh, Michael Eisner.
Yeah, that's a good point too. But he's not the only one making the decisions. It sounds like he had some big ideas. But there's a lot of Disney executives involved in those decisions, and lots of other, people sharing their money around. Not to, make excuses for any decisions in Disney leadership. They're all fine. They don't need our defense.
In my notes, I just wanted to share that, certain things didn't happen in Dinoland due to budget cuts. And in parentheses, I put Eisner era.
It is pretty infamous for things being cut or shortened or shortcutted or
yes.
turned inside out and never worked again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rocket rods. But we still got Dinoland U.S.A. Some would say that's a better thing than others.
Some would not.
There's lots of ideas, and there's lots of ideas and opinions. Even though Dinoland wasn't attached to an IP, Dinosaur, the ride, what is now Dinosaur, and at the time was Countdown to Extinction, became Dinosaur to take on that IP of the movie that came out eventually. There was clearly like an interest in dinosaur media around this time. Jurassic Park had been released shortly before this, which of course was a huge hit. So Dinoland was kind of created knowing the success of just dinosaur media in general, and then Dinosaur was made to kind of compete, but also cash in on the interest. But clearly that movie is not as culturally significant and or like really that interesting of a movie, but love the ride personally, even though it also doesn't really have anything to do with the movie outside of Aladar, which I think you may tell us a little bit about, or at least we'll talk about the movie in a little bit.
Yeah, so Megan mentioned the countdown to extinction, attraction. This was the only ride that opened with the land, and if you've never been to Dinoland USA, it is like a dinosaur themed carnival, pretty much, and the countdown to extinction was actually a combination of two separate ideas. So the original idea was the excavator, which was a roller coaster through an excavation site. And then
was that the suspended roller coaster is that what I saw? Do you know what type of roller coaster it was?
I don't.
Okay, that's fine.
I haven't seen anything for what the excavator like layout plan was, or I haven't seen any art.
Okay, no worries. I was like, maybe I'm squishing things in my brain.
I'm not sure. The second idea was a safari with animatronic dinos, and so they took those two vastly different ideas and combine them together to create the countdown to extinction.
Those are really wild ideas to mesh. Like, don't seem like they have anything to do with each other outside of broadly dino. But thinking about, what did you call it? A dinosaur safari?
Yes.
That's okay. So like dinosaur jungle cruise?
Yeah.
I love that. I want dinosaur jungle cruise.
That does sound fun. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It also kind of makes me think of that like last section on the train in Disneyland. Where
the
dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh. No, exactly. And I love that part.
That's like your favorite part.
I know. I like scream.
Is that a pterodactyl? No, that's just Megan.
Oh my god. I didn't know where you were going with that. I was like, what? Okay, for the record, I don't do that, but I do like, people aren't gonna believe me. No, I'm more of like with the music, like dun dun. Oh no. Will you tell me the names of them again? The excavator and did the other one have a name?
I don't have a name for that one.
Okay, maybe it wasn't. Shoot. Well, again, what a thing to combine, but how creative what they came up with. So I think, sorry.
Going into the backstory a little bit, it takes place in 1947 in Diggs County, which is funny. This was a small town where paleontologists found some dino bones near, of course, a Sinclair gas station.
Is that a real gas station?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The one with the green dinosaur?
Oh, dude, I like worked next to one. I don't know why. That is so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Isn't that so funny? Like, I cracked up when I read that. And so then the idea is that graduate students that initially came to hunt fossils ended up founding the Dino Institute.
Mm-hmm. And they opened the Fossil Discovery Park.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes. And along with that, that's how they transformed. It was once an old fishing lodge, and it became Restaurantosaurus,
Yes.
which houses their like dorms.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the Dino Institute.
Okay.
But Restaurantosaurus, it's now advertised as it's from Disney's official website. Delight in prehistoric paleontology student humor as you dine on Angus burgers, chicken nuggets, and more in a dino-themed dorm. Enjoy ice-cold beverages and Safari Amber draft beer. Doesn't that sound delectable?
Wow. The excitement is unbearable.
Right? I mean, who doesn't want to dine in a dino-themed dorm? That's so many D's.
So much delightment.
Delightment.
I don't even think that's a word.
Well, it says delight in prehistoric, you know? Delight in that pun.
That is hilarious.
The Dino Institute and the research facility Chronotech discovered how to warp vehicles back in time of the dinosaurs and began conducting tours, which contributed to the growing tourism industry. Picking up on this, Chester and Hester, which were two locals, were determined to take advantage of the growing interest in the area and converted their gas station into a fossil souvenir shop. And that was the Sinclair you were talking about.
Yeah, they were the owners of the Sinclair gas station. Yeah.
Okay. They were looking to compete with the Dino Institute, so they also converted their parking lot into a small amusement park called Chester and Hester's Dinorama. You mentioned the carnival at the beginning, so that's what this parking lot turned into. This featured Primeval Whirl, which is a wild mouse roller coaster with spinning ride vehicles, given like a theme that reflects Dinosaur the Ride, which we will get into later. It's like has super like kitschy theming, and it's like it's purposefully like mimicking the same storyline to compete with the nearby Dino Institute. So like it is something you definitely have to like look at, because I mean I think most of us are familiar with wild mouse roller coasters. Some of them are more themed than others. Some of them, like this one, has a spinning ride vehicle, but like Goofy Sky School's a wild mouse, right? So like usually their theming is like those like thin cutouts that are kind of strategically placed and like fun little gags. Like I think these had like spinning what you'd see like a hypnotist using kind of to simulate that whirl. I don't know. It's so funny. But this was demolished when we went, right?
I was going to say, I don't remember this being there.
Yeah. Remember when we like walked straight back into the land because I thought Dinosaur was like around that back corner?
Yes.
And it was just a dead end?
Yes.
That fenced off portion was where this attraction was.
Oh, I wonder why. Do you know why they stopped it?
So this was like a very early on phased out closure because they had decided to change Dinoland a long time ago, but like haven't had, you know, the plans on how they were going to replace it, and they had stopped running that attraction daily, so it was already like on a phased closure. So I think they maybe had the opportunity to demolish it and just took that opportunity while they had it, because I mean it's been some time. We went in 2023. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and we're hardly getting into those additional phased closures. I mean, they haven't even started. But again, we're going to talk about that at the end more. But I'm sorry that you didn't get to see this guy. But I promise you actually didn't miss much.
Do you remember, was it there when you went for your high school graduation?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's when I went in 2014, I did ride it.
Okay, so you remember this. Okay.
I do. I remember this very very well. It was very carnival. Like you can certainly ride at a carnival with different theming. With worse theming, this had good theming. I do appreciate the reflection of the two rides because that's hilarious to me. Like actual competition is happening between rides right now in a theme park.
Okay. That's so funny. Okay.
Chester and Hester wanted to, steal them patrons. Also, they opened Triceratops Spin and had classic midweight games going on as well. So I think there's even like funhouse mirrors around the land. So it really is a carnival. Dinoland U.S.A. definitely found its niche in its value as a roadside attraction.
Yeah, so a little bit about Dinosaur. To talk about Dinosaur, we kind of have to go back to Countdown to Extinction. So we talked about this a little bit earlier in the original plans of how that ride came to be, but the background story for the attraction is that there was a doctor by the name of Helen Marsh, and she wanted to build a museum/lab to host time traveling tours to the Mesozoic era. This kind of gives off the vibe of like a slow dino safari that was mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. Another doctor, Dr. Grant Seeker, instead wanted to use guests that were on a mission to save a dinosaur before a meteor hits. And that formed the idea for Countdown to Extinction. The change
kills me. Sorry. Oh, just like the contrast between these two characters, like, is so funny to me because it's like, okay, here's our information. We're educating. We're taking you on a stroll. The other guy's like, I want to save stuff.
Yeah, like we're on a mission.
We're on a mission. Yeah. All these people that want to have a relaxing vacation. I'm gonna. Continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Get them to come along.
Come on.
So the change from Countdown to Extinction to the ride name Dinosaur happened in 2000, the year 2000, after the release of Disney's movie, also called Dinosaur, which had pretty much the same premise. Have you ever watched this movie?
I think when I was a kid, like a kiddo when it first came out, but it's never been something I've ever chosen to watch,
Is it even on Disney Plus?
That's a great question.
I'm going to check that real quick because I don't have any memory of watching it, which doesn't mean anything because I could have also seen it like as a kid, but and I feel like I did.
You probably did.
Oh, yeah, I've totally seen this movie. I loved this movie as a kid. Are you kidding me?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's hilarious.
I totally remember this.
The cover?
Cover, yeah. We're going to have to watch that together.
Okay.
That'll be our next group watch.
Wait, it's a date.
So in the movie, the iguanodon is the protagonist. That is the dinosaur that we're trying to save. And the ride came out, as I explained, before the movie. And then the movie flopped. And kids were also really scared of Countdown to Extinction.
I wonder why.
They have made changes to it, so it's actually not as scary now.
Yeah, it's more well lit.
It seems dark as heck to me and very scary, so I don't know how it could have been scarier before, but I guess it was. Sounds intense.
I'm in love with this ride, so I cannot say a bad thing, except that it's really loud. I guess that's one thing I'll say.
Yeah, it is really loud. It's really dark. Do you want to tell us a little bit about like the ride itself?
Yeah, no, I can talk a little bit about it. But also, sorry, I'm just realizing two of my favorite rides are like so dark and loud. What is going on? Because Mr. Toad's also dark and loud.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think about it being loud when I'm in it.
That's true. I guess I don't either. It doesn't like hurt my ears, but I would say it's a very loud, it's a noisy ride.
It is noisy.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell us about Dinosaur and like how it's like the same thing as Indiana Jones.
Yeah. So first I want to say that the pre-show is so fun because again, you have Dr. Helen Marsh like presenting you like with this gorgeous idea of just traveling back to the dinos. And then you have that sneaky guy that's like she think, okay, boss, ha ha ha. She doesn't know that I actually am sending you back there. Risk your life for me. But with Indiana Jones, because also we love that ride. And you can feel the similarities like within the ride vehicle. Like when you think about it, the movement of it, even some of the scenes that you pass through, you're like, okay, they kind of click. There's different story beats, obviously. But I mean, this ride did, I think, happen more immediately than it would have otherwise if Indiana Jones wasn't so what it is, like so awesome and successful and adored. But there's lots of fun dinos you can see in this.
No, I don't think everyone knows the connection between Indiana Jones and the ride, though.
So Dinosaur and Indiana Jones, they are very similar, but with different story beats. So they have the same ride vehicle and essentially the same ride layout. So at the beginning, you so on both rides, you start off like, load into your ride vehicle, some sort of like, would you say Jeep type?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the in Dinosaur, it's the Time Rover.
Mm-hmm.
And in Indiana Jones, it's probably some sort of Jeep, right? So you move like into the ride portion, right? And both kind of like you get like this sort of like floaty through like an atmosphere, but in Indiana Jones, you are, approaching Mara and kind of getting swept up in what they are announcing to you. Whereas in Dinosaur, you're going back in time. So you kind of see like all these stars around you and you're then shot into the past. But it does very much like go through the same ride path, but I think they're mirrored. So I think like that's
it doesn't feel exactly the same. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't say it like actually feels the same. Like when you think back on it or you like do multiple rides, for sure you're like, yeah, those are the same ride, but they're extremely different at the same time.
It's such a different experience. Yeah,
extremely different. Also, Dinosaur, you get a photo.
Yeah, where's our Indiana Jones photo?
Where's our Indiana Jones photo? Like, I feel like
that was such a missed opportunity.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, oh, maybe there's not a portion that would be good for that. Literally, I think you stop in front of the Carnotaurus, which is, I won't say which Carnotaurus in case you're going to sneak on this ride before it closes and you want to be surprised because like I think the idea of the photo is so you're surprised because it's supposed to be like a shocking moment, but it would be that Carnotaurus I think would be at like the same point where the snake is in Indiana Jones because you kind of stop in front of that snake for a while too.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Yeah, I can't say if Dinosaur has like because Indiana Jones, it's so much more visible, like the track and everything and where you're going. Dinosaur, you don't know where you're going. It like honestly feels more like a trackless ride to me because you're like, well, at least this is how I feel in trackless rides.
Like, there's a track. It doesn't feel like there's a track. It just feels like you're getting thrown around by some dinosaurs.
Where am I going? Where am I going? Dude, I just know I'm going forward at least, which like, I don't know. Sometimes you don't. If you've been on the Mummy, sometimes you don't know, which is a whole different conversation. Oh my gosh, dude. We got a shock for our life on the Mummy. We thought that was going to be like Indiana Jones. It was not. Yeah, we also get a similar finale.
I don't
Indiana Jones and Dinosaur.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what was the finale in Dinosaur? I don't remember.
You know what the finale in Indiana Jones is.
Yeah.
Like the
That's
Rock.
where I feel like there should be, that's where I think the perfect picture spot is in Indiana Jones.
No, I super agree with you because there's already lights flashing.
Yeah.
It would be perfect.
I've literally heard people ask so many times before, did they just take our picture? Like, I have heard other people ask that. Like, I've overheard them in the ride vehicle.
Oh. Well, yeah, that would be a normal thing to think.
Right, because it seems like they're taking a picture for you.
Yeah.
Or of you.
For you. They're like, cheese. We don't have very many photo opportunities on rides in Disneyland.
No, we don't.
No, Disney World has way more. So many.
All their rides are newer.
That's not an excuse. Is there one on Pirates there? Did I make that up?
Is there one even for Frozen?
Yes.
There is. Okay.
We have a photo from Frozen. It's like the only photo that I like of our photos, other than what's it called?
Cosmic Rewind.
Cosmic Rewind. I don't know why in my head, it's a terrible name in my head. Epic Rewind is what goes through my head. And I'm like, ew, that is a terrible name. I don't know why that's what it is in my head.
The Epic Rewind. Of what? I don't know.
I don't know. Of nothing. We are on a wild tangent. But yeah, I think that's like all the similarities between Dinosaur and Indiana Jones, because I think the differences are what make it special and so significant. Like, I was watching a ride through today and I was like, there are so many animatronics in this ride and they are so big. Like, there are so few things. Like, this ride is special because it is scary. There is peril, which, like, we do not really get in rides anymore. And these are huge animatronics. Like, Indiana Jones does not have many animatronics at all. Like, you have a few things that, like, move here and there. You have the snake. You have Indy at the end. And you have Indy at the beginning. But, like, that's it.
That's true.
Dinosaur, I mean, there's easily, maybe 12. Like, I know that they took some out that are now projections, but like that effect really wasn't working anyways. And those are like they look like little lizards that are like jumping. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember.
I'm obsessed with this ride, you guys. I have a dinosaur t-shirt on that I ordered off of Depop a couple weeks ago that I'm obsessed with. I was very excited to spend that money. I'm sad that all of this is leaving. So I'm taking advantage of being able to talk about it while maybe somebody that's never ridden it before can experience it. I think it's important. We're losing part of our culture.
I really liked it, but I have only been on it once and it's been almost 2 years.
It's okay. We're going back. We're figuring it out.
We're gonna go get that dino.
We're gonna go get that dang dino.
That dang dino.
Thankfully, we make it back safely, though, from the past, and we get Aladar.
We rescue him. We don't get eaten by dinosaurs.
No, even though we do get yelled at, they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it.
It's so scary.
Like, what do you mean? I think we're making it. I don't know. Do you know? Okay, again, when I was watching the ride through today, I remembered thinking at that part the first time I wrote it, like, where are we going then? Why are you saying we're not going to make, where are we going? Like, where are we going to end up? And then when I was watching it today, for some reason, what went through my head was probably because I just rewatched all the Harry Potters. But when, like, so sad. But when they're, like, escape Bellatrix and they have, like, Dobby, but she's like waiting to see if like whatever she like the knife or whatever she throws at him is gonna apparate with them. And I was like, oh, are we gonna get splinched? Like, sorry. I was too excited earlier. I only had half a cup of coffee. I need to calm down.
I love dinosaurs so much.
I love it so much. Okay, so a part of our storyline of the students of the Dino Institute, like living on this campus, essentially, this campus slash Dino Institute, this whatever, campus slash time warp lab slash carnival, dino themed carnival. There are lots of fun things to find all across Dinoland. So it is definitely worth keeping your eye out, exploring the land, reading the signs, checking up on the ceilings, on the roofs of structures, buildings, shops, restaurants, because there are lots of things to see and find. For example, you may find a set of lawn chairs on a roof, and also maybe some coolers.
That's so random. Like, why?
That was exactly what I thought. And that's when I started to learn more and more about these students and what they may be getting up to on this campus. That's, I guess, the only thing I can think of it as. There's even a prank bucket of water perched on or above a doorway. So someone's about to get splashed.
This is just taking me back to like a Parent Trap.
Yeah, that's a good. Yep. Yeah, that's good. There's also some more normal things like hanging laundry or a basketball hoop with like the ball stuck between the rim and the rim and the backboard. And there's even a train above our heads in the gift shop.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a full train. So there's so many like plastic or, like toy dinosaurs all throughout the shop. There's a train that goes through like even all these sets that it's suspended above our heads. There's even like a full volcano in the corner. Like when I say there is so much to see, which is part of what makes this land like so special and so unique. Like there's so many like little details sprinkled around and things to uncover constantly. Like that is a teeny tiny list of what is actually there.
That's so cool. I don't think that I went anywhere inside.
Yeah, I don't think we really walked around as much as we could have. But we might have just like poked in and poked out because we were trying to get our stuff done. And Animal Kingdom is open for such a limited amount of hours, and we're trying to enjoy our vacation too. We can't dwell everywhere, unfortunately. And it was your first time, so we had to do all the things.
We had to do all the things.
And we did do all the things.
We missed a few little things, unfortunately.
That's okay. It's not too late. I'm just going to keep saying that because I want it to never be too late in my heart. But there's also a coin press machine in this land. And if anybody is listening that is a regular Animal Kingdom goer, I would really like these pressed pennies. I would happily pay you for them. I did that with Splash Mountain. I had a coworker that went when I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go. Wasn't sure how long the Splash Mountain pressed pennies were going to last, just like I don't know how long the dinosaur ones will. I will happily buy them from you. But please, because if I could get them myself, I would, but I cannot. Not yet, at least. Hopefully we will, but...
Is that Vincent?
Yes, I'm sorry. So there is one other, I'd say, lesser known and addition to the story of Dinoland U.S.A. One that doesn't, super fit the theme, but, it's there. It's part of it, and that's what we're talking about right now. And that's Donald's Dino Bash. This kicked off at Animal Kingdom in 2018 as a part of Incredible Summer, which was a campaign at Disney World to promote the release of Incredibles 2 and was intended to be a permanent overlay. And it sure has been. Are you familiar with this at all?
No.
Yeah, it seems very obscure. It was something that I clocked like both times I was there, but just like didn't have any, or I guess not both times because the first time I went is in 2014, but when we were there, I should say. as just being like, I was like, I don't understand what these signs are, if this is even referring to Donald Duck. It is, but he's not even on some of the signs, or I don't know. But Disney explains Donald's Dino Bash, its backstory in this way. So this is a quote. Donald Duck just heard the news. Some of his feathered ancestors were dinosaurs. To mark this quackable discovery, pause for laughter, he's transformed this land into a celebration for the ages.
Cute.
Yeah. Bringing ducks into Dinoland is the idea for a party. We're told. So graphics, audio cues, and fact cards posed by Professor Ludwig von Drake were added to the land as a part of this overlay. So just some new details. The scientific fun facts are about all manner of prehistoric life. There was also additional opportunities to meet characters at this party, and they're dressed for the occasion in new costumes. Daisy, she's got, cute kind of dino party inspired outfit. Goofy, he's dressed up like a carnival barker. Then we have Pluto and Chip and Dale are dressed like in head-to-toe dinosaur onesies and are advertising themselves as Chipmunkosaurus. Honestly, they're so cute. I'm like, I love this. I hope they're still there right now. I'm not sure what these meet and greets look like these days, but it would be cool. I think they're super cute. But also, Donald has been joined by Scrooge McDuck and Launchpad McQuack. So if you're a big, DuckTales fan, I think that's what these characters are from. So that's where you can meet them.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's a part of Dinoland. It's just a weird... Honestly, this is the weird part of Dinoland to me. Not the millions, they're not actually millions, but all of the little tiny dinos hanging from a ceiling, that's fine. Donald's Dino Bash, you lost me. And I love that's a mix mash of my two favorite things, Dinoland and Donald Duck.
It literally is.
And I don't care for it. So it's been fun talking about all the little details, the bigger overarching backstory of Dinoland. But it was officially announced at 2024's D23 that Dinoland would be transformed into the tropical Americas.
Yes, and this closure is already starting to take place. So phase 1 of the closure is scheduled in a couple of days from the time of recording. So this will already be closed by the time this episode comes out. On January 12th, that is going to be the final day for Triceratops Spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures.
Wow, okay. That feels like a big chunk.
Yeah. It also says here, and this is according to Walt Disney World News Today, Dinosaur, the Boneyard Restaurantosaurus, Dinobite Snacks, and Trilobites will stay open.
Okay. So that sounds like, because the Tropical Americas are going to be featuring the Disney IPs of Encanto and Indiana Jones, it sounds like the Triceratops Spin area that you had talked about is closing in just a couple days, is getting ready for Encanto to begin development.
Yeah, probably.
It's looking like Dinosaur is going to become Indiana Jones. I think that's pretty solidified, right?
Yes.
There's not a completion date for this project, but we know that it's likely that the last phase of the project will begin in 2026, because I believe, did it say on there that it's for sure open all 2025 before that next phase? Yeah. Okay. So maybe like a year apart is like a fair assumption.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like enough time.
It's not. It's
like slipping through my fingers.
Oh, we're going to get that dino.
One last time. The ride through that I watched today, I had forgotten about the gift shop in kind of like the beginning of the queue and how much of a museum it's modeled after.
I don't even remember there being a gift shop. I didn't remember the queue and like having the skeleton of a dinosaur. Massive, yeah.
Yeah. In this video, you could see that they have like a like a cast of bones, but it looked like some sort of swimming dinosaur. I don't know. It was all cool. I don't know. I could just keep talking about little freaking details that you can find around Dinoland or in Dinosaur, but nobody wants to hear me talk forever about dinosaurs. It's obnoxious. Also, I will
podcast. Maybe we need to put you on a dinosaur podcast.
The thing is that I don't actually know that much about dinosaurs, just dinosaurs in theme parks. We talked about this, Shy and I. We were gonna record yesterday, but then we ended up, plans changed. We just had a phone conversation instead, and we were talking about. I was like, oh, well, I only know things that I hyperfixate on, and I only know things about things that I'm specifically interested in. So, dinosaurs in theory. The theme parks, dinosaurs in theme parks. Now you have me. I'll know everything.
Yes.
To obnoxious degree.
I think that's everything we have for Dinoland USA.
Yes. I think that about wraps it up. I look forward to talking about dinosaurs again when we eventually talk about the Disneyland Railroad, because that'll be a whole other digression, I'm sure, on my part. But sad to see this go. Excited for the Tropical Americas and what that will become. Maybe that'll be our new favorite. One can hope. There are lots of structures of dinosaurs in Dinoland as well that you can find in like some sculptures. I really hope they do save some things like that to be a part of this new land, or they're placed somewhere else in a park, or I'm sad to see this go, and I'm interested to see where everything ends up, because often Disney saves their things, it gets stored away or reused somewhere else. So I'm excited to see where our new Easter eggs are from all of our Dinoland treasures.
Yeah, I'm excited for that specifically as well. I didn't think about it until you mentioned it, but they are definitely going to have plenty of Easter eggs, I'm sure, reminiscent of this land and the new land.
Yeah. Yes, I did see it was early on in this announcement, but I saw people speculating, oh, maybe we'll get some dinosaurs in like the casita. I don't know why, but I'm like, okay, I guess just because it's available, sure. But we don't know anything about what that experience is going to be, so
that's true.
Maybe one of the Madrigals got a dinosaur fixation as well. Thank you so much for listening. We post new content every Saturday, so please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen so you never miss an episode.
And don't forget to review and rate us 5 stars, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Magical Happy Hour Podcast on Instagram. Megan, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Megan Creedon, and there's a link to my TikTok if you want to follow me on there as well. Shy, what about you?
You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at Disney Obsessed Nurse. And if you're interested in having a professional travel agent that specializes in Disney and Universal Studios, plan your next vacation, you can find the link to my website in our podcast notes, or email me, Cheyenne at vincentvacations.com. be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode. We're going to be planning a trip together, my birthday trip. So I'm really excited for that. And we will see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.